So, today's guest is here to chat with us on the Sharvette Mitchell radio show. And I know that you all are going to enjoy this particular segment here. Today's guest is on a mission to empower today's leaders for tomorrow's challenges. You're checking out episode 742 of the Sharvette Mitchell radio show, Secrets of a Hiring Manager. Be upskilled or get outskilled with our guest, Ucheonye Maple. You're here live on the Sharvette Mitchell radio show. We'll be right back after this quick intro. Don't you move.
Whoa. Why y'all so happy?
You don't know? Sharvette Mitchell is on the radio.
It's time to get motivated, excited, and influenced. Why? It's the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, live from Richmond, Virginia. And now, here to motivate, excite, and influence you, Sharvette Mitchell.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sharvette Mitchell radio show, broadcasting live from the capital city of Richmond, Virginia, but heard and seen all across the World Wide Web. We are so excited for those of you that are live with us. Listen, we're streaming on LinkedIn, we're streaming on YouTube, we're streaming in a couple of places on Facebook, on Twitch, and we are so excited for all of you who check out our podcast version a little bit later on. So Apple and Spotify and Google Play and all the things. Certainly those that check us out on Blog Talk Radio, we appreciate you. And those that just say, you know what, I just jump over to Sharvette.com and that's how I catch up and that's how I binge listen and binge watch. We appreciate you always, all the time, showing us support and love. And so we are going on to get into today's topic and today's segment. And I know that this is such a great conversation for us to have. Secrets of a hiring manager. Be upskilled or get outskilled with Ucheonye Maple. She's with us in the virtual studio. Listen, ready to come up to the mic. Great. Thank you so much. Exclusive Auto Club. Can't wait to hear these secrets. Great timing since I'm currently in the market. You are right on schedule. You are right on time. We're glad to have you. Shout out to, family in the house, Joe and Kim and Deborah and all the cousins, everybody in the house here. So let me introduce and tell you a little bit more about my guests. As I know you all are coming on in, and notifications are going out. And if you know someone that is a dualpreneur, because our show a lot of times focuses mainly on entrepreneurs, but we have a lot of dualpreneurs. So what does that mean? They work a 9-to-5 and they have a business on the side. So tag someone because I know that this is information that they need. And the goal of the show is to motivate, excite, and influence. And we're going to do just that today. So today, hang out in the virtual green room, ready and waiting to come up to the mic. Ucheonye Maple is here with us. She is the owner of Noteworthy Consulting, which is a consulting firm that partners with organizations to assess their organization behavior through assessments, data analytics, and provides leadership development training. She is a leader with a proven track record of empowering, motivating, and transforming STEM professionals. She is also a speaker, a coach, and a mentor to the engineering community. She founded Women Who Leap, which you can check out, Women Who Leap Network over on YouTube, where she interviews women who are leaders, entrepreneurs, and living a purposeful, driven life. And last but not least, she is the author of Bitter, Not Better. And the co-author of Resilient, a key to being brilliant. Put your virtual hands together. Welcome to those coming on in as we bring Ucheonye Maple up to the stage. Hey, girl. Hey. Listen. I got some clapping. We got some clapping for you. We got some celebration for you. We got it. All right, wonderful. So I'm so excited to have you here. We've been connected. You have been a great voice in the Marketing Tips with Sharvette Facebook community, where you'll ask questions and offer content. And so we've been connected that way. But I'm excited to chat about this topic and jump right on in. Certainly with this topic of upskilling, out or getting outskilled. Can you start off by defining, what do you mean when you say upskill? What does that actually mean for someone that's saying, I'm not even sure what that means in particular in today's hiring environment?
Yes. So first and foremost, let me say, Ms. Sharvette Mitchell, thank you for having me on. I
You're
feel so
welcome.
honored and privileged. I definitely appreciate it. So one thing is when we talk about being upskilled, it's whatever industry you're in. What is the latest technology that is happening in your environment? So let's say if you are in the fashion industry, what is the latest technology with fabric, right?
Yeah.
Resistance free fabric. What is happening with that? For me, like with the engineering, definitely a lot of data analytics, machine learning, right? Artificial intelligence. And what we find ourselves doing is that right now, a lot of people are still, even though they're looking for a job, they have not upgraded their skills. They're still operating in skills that are maybe 3 to 4 years old because technology is changing at such a constant
All the
rate.
time. Yeah.
And what happens is when we work at companies, the company sometimes may or may not be advancing their technology. So while we are working there, right, we're using what they have, but we are not upgrading ourselves to be relevant in the current marketplace. So when we talk about being upskilled, that means what are you doing to constantly keep evolving your technical competencies, your communication competencies, your how you present, how you are even going out to get work, any of those things. What are you doing to make sure that you understand what the latest is, who's leading in that market, and how can you have a competitive, what makes you a competitive marketplace? And when that doesn't happen in today's environment, we find a lot of people who are like, hey, I don't have work.
Ouch or amen. Ouch, ouch or amen. You're just tuning in. You're checking out Secrets of a Hiring Manager. Be upskilled or get outskilled. And thank you so much on YouTube. It is so important to update your skills to stay relevant. And I think, and I'm going to not think, I know this applies everywhere. Looking for a job, it applies to entrepreneurs, it applies to nonprofits, it applies to ministry. Like this applies everywhere. Thank you, PD, for that comment. And so, what are as a hiring manager or working with hiring managers, what are some of the red flags that indicate that a candidate is not adaptable to this evolving, job market?
Immediate when they say, I know this skills and I'm not trying to learn anything else. Right? That's a red flag. Also, too, looking at your resume, depending on what you have on there is a red flag as well. Because if you are in the, let's say, the computer science industry or the software industry, and if your skills are not relevant to today's marketplace, that's a red flag as well. Even with entrepreneurship, right? With how we're creating content, let's just say content as an example. If you're not even just using different tools to streamline video content, right? Using tools that have artificial intelligence where you're just now adding a script to it and it is creating those videos for you that's relevant to your industry, and you're still manually doing things, you are behind the curve. So you just have to, those are the red flags. So for me, in terms of a hiring manager, when I'm looking at your resume, and if what you're applying for, if you have skills that have been outdated maybe 3 years ago, that's a red flag. But more importantly, when we're having conversations and interviewing, and you're saying things that I've been doing this for 15 years, right? What is expected of me? Am I going to have to learn a new skill? You're asking those questions. So as a hiring manager, my question to you is, well, why did you apply for this?
Because wait, stop the presses. And let me, like, Exclusive Auto Club made such a great point about AI, like artificial intelligence, like huge impacts. Someone might say, let me play angel's advocate, because someone would say, well, I've been doing this for 15 years. That sounds like a strength. That sounds like a positive. How should they massage that to be more, be better for the job market today?
So for example, AI right now, it uses Python. That's its coding, right? So if you are applying to jobs that is requiring that, and you're coming in, well, I've been doing Java for 15 years. That means that you haven't stayed current or just learned something with a different code. So just, so one thing too is that even though you're saying 15 years, you can also say, but I'm willing to learn.
Yeah, good.
What else do I need to learn? How can I learn more?
Mm.
What are some of the things that I need to do differently? Now, again, you don't want to say this in the interview.
Right.
Right. So, but you want to make sure, and my people do mock interviews all the time, but you want to make sure when you're prepping for it that you are using the right language. And if you use AI to help you prep, right,
There
then
you go.
yes, then you know how to have those conversations with the STAR method, right? Which is the situation, what's the task, what's the action, and what's the result. Every time you interview, you use the STAR method. So you need to just make sure that you're learning how to use the right language, using the STAR method, and use AI to fill in some work on how you can, what kind of language you need to say.
Yeah, and to be teachable, it is so important to be teachable. Absolutely, in any arena. And so, how can employees who are at risk, and you started delving into this, of being really outskilled, stay relevant. So, say someone is on their job, they're on a job now, but they are noticing, hey, my skills are out of whack, or the people they're bringing in are at this level, and I'm not. And so they might not be looking externally, but might just be like internally. What do you say to employees internally around upskilling?
Right. So you can do three things. Well, two main things. The first one is just take a training. Take a training on whatever that skills is. That's your delta. That's the gap. Take a training on that and begin to work projects on that. Okay. The second thing is so that it will push you even more. Get an assignment where you are forced to use that skill. So that way you are having to use that skill and you're learning faster and quicker. So that way you can stay relevant in your work environment and also with the people that they're bringing in.
That is so good. And listen, I got to lean over here because that's my bookshelf over there. So my last book, Position to Pivot, I'm going to give another assignment. The last chapter I wrote in here is called The Platform Builder, the corporate version. And I give 6 steps and frameworks around building yourself up in corporate America. So pick up Position to Pivot. And this is specifically for those that are employees in a company who want to move up in that particular company, the Platform Builder corporate version. So y'all grab that. So yeah, that's so good. And taking a training, I agree that is so good. Taking a training that'll open your mind, your mindset, and asking for opportunities that are tied to that skill.
That is right. And let me say this, if your company doesn't have the training, all of these platforms, they have it. Google has all these different training, Amazon, market, everyone has training. Yeah. So all you have to do is really just go search for it and you can learn. So there's no reason in this environment for anyone to get outskilled at all, because there's so much information and training ground on different platforms that helps us accelerate the process.
Yeah. And there are things like LinkedIn. Hey, to those that are watching from LinkedIn, LinkedIn has some training. So some things may be free, but then guess what? Let me just throw this out. You may need to pay for professional development. You probably will need to pay to get some of the skills or get in rooms with people who have the skill set that you need, or the mindset. Sometimes it's just mindset. Let me capture this. Should you look for training yourself or just wait for the company to offer them to you?
Yeah, so this is a great question. What usually happens is when we're in the workplace, the reality is that we expect our company to provide training for us. So, and we get in that mindset, well, I'm not going unless they're paying for it. But what we have to understand is that we are the asset. We are the investment. So you're not just waiting for the company to provide you training. Your responsibility, because you're the asset, right? You're the investment, is to go seek that training for yourself. And if the company pays for it, that's great. If they don't, this again is another way for you to add more tools to your tool belt so that you can stay more relevant and have a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for?
Asset skills, like you'll be seen as an asset.
You'll be seen as an asset. and company will look for you, and also with credibility as well.
Yeah.
So that's something. So I always tell people, it's not about what the company will pay for. It's about you as an asset being invested in.
And what I didn't mention, and some of you that follow me and are connected, I know we have some new people in the audience. And so prior to being a full-time entrepreneur and leading Mitchell Productions, which is a marketing and professional development firm, I spent 25 years in corporate America. 20 of those years was in training and development. And so absolutely, there is a responsibility for you to take ownership of your professional development. And you could have the best, Uche, you could have the best manager in the whole wide world. They are still not going to be as passionate about your development as you will be and should be. So
facts all day.
All day long. All day. I know there's some people saying, how can I, what do you do? How can they work with you? What are the types of services you offer?
Absolutely. So services that I offer is a couple of things. One is I really work with individuals who are in corporate America in the workspace. I help you I love working with top performing teams who are utilizing different types of technology, innovative and creative ways on how they can, really release quality products and services to their clients. And I also offer leadership development training. This training, especially right now, being a leader in your organization of people, even of just, managing projects, it is so important that you have certain skills in order to be successful in today's marketplace, because it's changing every day. And what happens is when people come to me, what makes us different is that we infuse social psychology with our training program, which makes you be able to understand what it means to be in the position of the people you are leading, which is important because, of course, right, we are a people organization. At the end of the day, you can have all the technology you want, but if there's no people there to work it, then you make no money.
Right. Period. So I see some hearts coming up for that. So certainly reach out on LinkedIn with Ucheonye Maple, and you can call or text as well. There, if you're listening by way of podcast, just look down below in the show notes. Look down below in the show notes. Look down below in the show notes. Okay, so hiring secrets. So can you share some insider hiring secrets? You've really been dropping nuggets the whole time, but specifically for job seekers and what they should know, in order to stand out in this hiring market right now.
Absolutely. So your best friend is going to be LinkedIn. Okay. What does your LinkedIn profile look like? So one thing I tell people is that it's okay that, I get this all the time because right now I do some work with the community college within my area. And one of the comments we get is, I've been applying for 6 months. I haven't heard anything. And people are applying on those platforms that leads to nowhere. So if you're applying on a job position platform and you're just applying, I always encourage everyone, go to the actual company's website to see if that job even exists. Because majority of the times, I'm going to say 50% of the time, it doesn't exist. And they haven't taken it off their job requisition site.
So they filled the position or for whatever reason, pulled the position.
Doesn't matter. Yep.
Get out of here.
So that's the first thing. The second thing is make sure your LinkedIn your profile stands out. Let people know that, one, you're looking for a job, because oftentimes people are afraid to say, I'm looking for something. Make sure that's updated. Make sure that you're using visual graphics that showcase and demonstrates what you're great at. And above all, use your network. Because if you've been working, even if you've been working 5 years, people that you know in the network may know someone. So use your connections to reach out to people, even if you haven't talked to them in a while. I get it. Don't be embarrassed, right? Just remember the last time you connected, send them a little note, just acknowledging that, and just let them know, because you never know. Someone will know someone who knows someone. And the last thing I will say this is, don't be afraid to be a contractor for a company.
So talk about that.
Yeah. So because sometimes the companies, they just might want to hire contractors for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And it's okay to be a contractor. Nope, you don't get the benefits, but you do get extra money. But also, it's an opportunity for them to get to know you.
Mm-hmm.
And when an opportunity comes up in that company as a permanent hire, there are opportunities for you to apply to that and then get the job. So don't be afraid of being a contractor either.
And then also have the mindset of they're getting to know you, you are getting to know them.
That is
and
correct.
So you get to the inside view of where there might be opportunities, or even building and making connections there is an awesome thing.
And you don't have to worry about the politics, because you're going in as a contractor and you're doing amazing work.
Right. Sis said, wait a minute, say that again. Sis, which part you need to say again, which part you needed to say again. So go back to the LinkedIn. I'm gonna just assume, and let me know in the chat. And I don't want to mess up the pronunciation of your beautiful name. But let us know in the chat which part you want to go back to. But I want to go back to the LinkedIn. So letting people know that you are looking. Are you saying in like the description, so where you have your name and then there's like a description that you can have about yourself, put that you are actively seeking a job in project management? Okay.
Yes. And then even with your LinkedIn cover page, your cover behind you, you can also put in there what you're great at. So if you are a person who's in IT, put a background image in there that demonstrates that I'm in IT and some of the things that you know. And also in your About Me section as well. Good. Your About Me section is really, really critical in how you are leveraging that. It's not just a bio. You really want to talk about what makes you different and unique.
What makes you different and unique?
Yes. What makes you different and unique in the job that you're trying to get? Let me be clear. Not unique personally, because now you're trying to find a job. But what makes you different in the job that you're trying to find? Well, have you written white papers? Have you created some new algorithm that no one else knows about? Are you patent? Do you lead teams? If you lead teams, what are some of the success rates? You just want to make sure that it's because that first part that they see, you want to make sure that they get an instant grasp of who you are, that they're like, I got to connect with this person.
Wow. And could they use something like LinkedIn articles, which is kind of like a blog on LinkedIn, or LinkedIn audio, or even some video that they can pin in their LinkedIn profile?
Absolutely. So the next level is, after you build your portfolio, right? Your profile is now you want to be seen as a thought leader or as an expert in your field. So you can post anything in terms of informational content with what is happening in your industry. You can post your opinion on how people are solving problems with some of the challenges that organizations are facing. Finding, being able to provide a solution space for problems that's in your industry will make you stand out immediately. Immediately. And companies that you desire to work for, that you would be honored to work for, that's a privilege to work for, go on their pages as well and see what they are saying and post comments under that, and also under hiring managers there, because they tell you that they'll say like manager here, and then you'll be able to see who works for them. When they're posting content as well, reply back. But when you are doing this, it's important for you to be focused, because I tell people, looking for a job is a job. Right.
All right.
So be prepared that you may spend 5 or 6 hours a day. That's okay, because you're trying to find a job. And also what I tell people too is, when you're sending out and applying for jobs, for every 100 job recs you apply to, expect a 10% callback.
Wait, 100 and you get maybe 10 callbacks.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
And that's just a callback for an interview. Out of that callback, it may be 10, 1 or 2 out of that. So just manage your expectations in what you're looking for.
And so there'll be more no's than yeses. But if you have the expectation set, boom. Whew. All right. So you can, I know you specialize in leadership development and a few other things. And so tell us about, like, how important is leadership development? How is that playing really a role in, organizations and their employees? And, it's always constantly changing. What role does leadership development play?
So it's two things. One, how many of us have worked for a leader that we were like, I can't believe they're a leader? right?
Right.
So in organizations, it's important when we talk about leadership development, I'm not talking about just training. I'm really talking about transformation, because the goal, what makes our company different in Noteworthy Consulting, is we strive to transform within. So we may train you, but we know transformation takes anywhere between 12 months to 24 months. So our goal is to work with you continuously, touch base, so that you can have a transformative experience, which is beneficial for the organization, is beneficial for the person, and it's beneficial for the people that they lead. Yeah. What impacts that is, we want to make sure, because people are tired of losing top talent. Right?
Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah.
It's a thing. And you're losing top talent because your leader is not someone who is bringing out the best in the people. So leadership development is not only important, I say it's one of the most crucial things that companies should invest in. You should invest in yourself, because you want to make sure that you stand out from everyone else. And that's okay that you do, because you are investing in you. But our goal is for you to have a transformative experience inside, so that when you come anywhere and when you are in front of anybody, you stand out no matter what. And that's because of the internal transformation you've got on the inside, and we help with that.
Yeah. And so, listen, secrets of a hiring manager: be upskilled or get outskilled. And so you're hearing, definitely any level, wherever you are, leadership development is a skill to work on. I don't care if you are mopping the floor. You better be an expert in which sanitation products work the best, what time frame, how long it takes to dry. Anybody could improve leadership development at any skill set at any level. Wow, our time just flew on by here. When we having fun, it just goes. So your book, you have a book. I want to make sure, because listen, bitter, not better. So
better, better, not bitter.
Okay, I'm sorry. Better, not bitter. Tell us about that.
So let me just read. So I'm going to tell you about it, but I need to read something really quick on why this book was written. So in the back of the book, Better Not Bitter, you can get it on Amazon with my name, Ucheonye Maple. This book was actually written in memory of my sister, Sherry, who passed away almost 8 years ago. Oh, wow. And this story really goes through how I was as a child to where I am today. And let me just read this really quick, and it's only a paragraph on why I wrote the book. Okay. What I wanted was to better the lives of others. That's how I wanted to influence. I wanted to create light in the midst of their darkness. I wanted to find and give peace. I was enjoying my family and relationships and hoped to be an example so that others could also be the same. It was important to me that others learn self-confidence and self-love. It's important to embrace your uniqueness. There is no one else at all like you. There's no reason to be ashamed of who you are or what you like. The older I grew, the more I realized this. The reason why that segment was important to me is that I had to learn how to love me. Mm-hmm. And no matter what we go through in life, our goal is to be better, not bitter. Because I know that, we run into people, or we've been like that, where things have happened and it was hard for us to let go, to forgive, and to move forward. Mm-hmm. And one way that I was able to take back ownership of my life, which is important, because when you are working in the workplace, oftentimes what we don't know is that when someone does something, it triggers us. And we think it's because of what they've done in the workplace. However, if we were to take a moment to sit back, to reflect versus respond, we would know that the triggering event came when we were younger. Mm-hmm. So we host that bitterness over time, and it manifests itself when we're in the workplace. So I've learned to take all of that anger, to take all of that bitterness, and the person that helped me move through that was my sister Sherry. So better, not bitter. That's how it came about.
Oh, wow. Available on Amazon. Available on Amazon. Definitely check it out. One last time, how can people connect with you, work with you, all that good stuff?
Absolutely. So you can find me on LinkedIn at Ucheonye Maple. I'm the only one on there. And you can also go to YouTube and just type in Women Who Leap Network, LEAP, stands for Leadership, Entrepreneurship, and Purpose. And you can definitely find me there as well. And above all, if you want to, you can text me better at 410-205-6098. Again, text better to 410-205-6098. Text me your name and your email address, and definitely would love to connect to see how we can help you be better, not bitter.
All right, there you go. Final question. The goal of the show is to motivate, excite, and influence. And we want to know what continues to motivate Ucheonye Maple.
You know what? This last year has been a very transformative experience for me. I want to say that when I retired from corporate America 2 years ago, I really had an identity crisis because I didn't know that I found my worth with my title.
Yeah.
Right. So what keeps me motivated is just simply knowing that I'm enough and that I have everything I need to be successful through of course, God. That's who I believe in.
Yes.
I don't know. Everyone's different. I just got
right. Me too. I'm with you.
But just knowing that, and just knowing that, the only way that I give up is if I stop.
Yeah.
And there's no stopping right now.
Ain't no stopping us now. Listen. So this has been so great. Thank you so much. I see comments are like, this has been beneficial. I know that people that'll listen to the podcast and listen to the replay will find much great value in this. So thank you so much for being connected, and that we were glad we had an opportunity to feature you on the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show.
Thank you again. Very honored, and I'm very privileged to be here. Thank you, Sharvette.
You are welcome. Thank you. Wow. I know this is a segment that some of you are going to be like, I need to go back and listen to that again. I need to spin the block on that. Absolutely, you do. And this segment, episode 742, was brought to you by my upcoming summit. This is our 8th annual event here in Richmond, Virginia, and it's the Platform Builders Summit. Jump over to platformbuildersummit.com, and it is for women entrepreneurs and women leaders, but focused on business. When we talk about branding and marketing, we've got someone talking about grants, and we've got somebody talking about nonprofit, and someone talking about all kinds of professional development, government contracting. We've got that thrown in. So platformbuildersummit.com is the sponsor for this segment. And matter of fact, let me just, as we go out, play our quick commercial so you can get the vibe and the sense of what is happening here November 8th and 9th in Richmond, Virginia. I want to see you here. It's an all VIP event. Here we go. I am Sharvette Mitchell, CEO of Mitchell Productions, the producer and host of the Platform Builder Summit. We are here in beautiful Richmond, Virginia with 115 amazing women, professional service providers. We have therapists, we have accountants, we have realtors in this space, and we're excited about all of the amazing transformations that their businesses and their brands will continue to have.
I was drawn to this conference because of all the beautiful things I heard about the conference. This is my first experience, so I've only heard great things about the empowering women that shared their stories and the things that people take it away from it, and I wanted that experience.
One of the things that I've enjoyed the most about just meeting other women and interacting with other women is the fact that we all realize that we can work together and we can partner together. I don't know how you can come to a Sharvette event and not leave more confident in your skill set and in your gifting, and that's absolutely what I feel today, having just been in the room for the past couple days.
Anything and everything you could think of in regards to business has been discussed. from marketing to finance to planning to strategy to platform building. It's so many amazing nuggets that I can take back and actually implement and grow my business.
This is my second time coming to one of these conferences, and I'm telling you, every time I just get more fired up about what it is what my why is.
This is going to energize me for the rest of the year and into 2024. So grateful.
All right, there is the vibe of what you'll experience, and personal invitation from me to you, Sharvette Mitchell, CEO and founder of Mitchell Productions, a marketing and professional development firm. And we thank you so much for being a part of the listening audience for episode 742. And listen, it's a wrap for today. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. We'll see y'all later on the web.
Live from Richmond, Virginia, you've been listening to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Catch Sharvette Mitchell every Tuesday at 6 p.m., interviewing all the stars you want to hear from. So until next week, stay motivated, excited, and influenced. This is the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show.